Good morning and welcome to Ainslie Park, where Scotland are just about to take on Finland in the UEFA Women's Under-19 Qualifying Round League A Group 1 Match Day 2. And I do think I've got that one right again, Chris. I will be your commentator today, Amy Canavan, and I am delighted to be joined in the esteemed company of Scotland's women's football's biggest hype man, Chris Marshall. Chris, good morning. Chris, good morning. How are you? It's an early day. It's an early start. How are you?
I'm very good, yes. It is a bit of an early starter than usual, but you know, gets me out of the house in the morning. Always a big fan of that, and get to see Scotland hopefully carry on the good vibes from Thursday night.
It's quite a day of action here at Ainslie Park. We've got action here. We've got 3 o'clock kick-off for Spartans, and then of course Spain and Switzerland, the other game in the group kick-off. I think it's 7 o'clock tonight, isn't it?
7 p.m, yeah.
We're there. What would you prefer? Are you a morning person or an evening person? What kick-off would you prefer?
I'm not really a morning person, but when there's a reason to get out of bed in the morning, I'm a big fan of that. And yeah, so you know what, that's me out now. I might even come to the game later on. That's how prepared I am now.
You're a crazy guy. Well, in action later is of course Spain, who defeated Scotland 6-0 on Tuesday there. What do you think Pauline MacDonald, who's in charge again today, stepping in for Pauline Hamill during this triple header at Ainslie Park, what do you think she can take from that performance against Spain? Yes, the scoreline perhaps doesn't look the greatest, but you know, Spain are a top quality side. Yeah,
I think we obviously spoke on Thursday about the fact that they are the under-20 world champions, the European champions. It was always going to be a tough ask. I think it's just taking the kind of the pockets of positivity that came out of that game. There was times where once we got on the front foot and put a bit of pressure on the Spanish backline, that we're able to kind of break a play a little bit and try and get into the opposing third. And you would hope that playing against Finland, a team probably closer to our level in terms of where we're looking to be, it will be a bit more competitive and we might see a bit more back and forth in this game as well.
It's clearly an early morning because the both of us have just said that the game against Spain was on 2 different days and neither of us got it right. It was on Wednesday.
So it was.
I said Tuesday, you said Thursday. But of course, because on Thursday we were both at Hampden, and hope you were all too. And if you weren't, make sure you get along this coming Tuesday. And Chris, I'll let you take the mic on this one.
Yes, 1-0 winning on Wednesday. There we go. Thursday.
It was Thursday.
Oh, no.
This one was Thursday.
Yes.
It's really early.
Yeah, 1-0 winning Thursday night for the senior team. Fantastic night, and hopefully we get to repeat it again on Tuesday. So yeah, make sure you're there. 8 o'clock kick-off at Hampden. Usual spiel for tickets. If you're a Scotland Supporters Club member, then you get there for free, £10 and £5. And remember, if you bought your 2-for-1 tickets or with a bit of discount on it, then they apply as well. So make sure you get along to Hampden.
I hope you're getting a sponsorship or something through this for all the advertising you're doing. Or is that just part of like the hype man's kind of gig?
Well, I mean, if there is sponsorship available, then you know I'm available for it. But it's just being a hype man. That's what you've got to do. But I think here come the teams now. Seen London on Ainslie drop back, but it looks like it's the same front two as it was on Wednesday, and Jodie filling in on that left hand side.
Sophia Mata on the ball for Finland. First real time Finland have made their way into the Scotland half, yet the home side have came away with it. Just unfortunately there. Seems a lot more confidence in the Scotland side early on, Chris.
Yeah, I was about to comment a positive start from Maya Christie, who obviously found it quite difficult against Una Baradad on Wednesday, but yeah, a really confident start.
Una Sivanez, goal scorer against Switzerland, donning the gloves. Good pressurising for her on Hannah Jordan.
Have you got an opinion on short sleeves and gloves?
I'm not a fan myself, Chris. I was going to chuck that on at yourself, but I'm not. I don't mind the long sleeve and gloves because I understand then you're chilly, but then again, my hands go blue as well, so maybe that's where I'm going wrong.
Yeah, well, it's extremities, so I think that's. I'm a big fan of short sleeves and gloves. You want to still feel like you're playing football, but
it's handy for a commentator as well. Stands out.
Yeah, it does indeed.
Rather than trying to look at the colour of boots. Ailey Adams just dropping a little bit deeper and using Millie Urquhart on the charge, doing very well, and manages to get a throw in. Will be another Scotland throw. Take two. Mansory trying to pick out Sariona, but Kenzie Weir and Jess Broderick commanding as ever at the back. Very solid partnership that, Chris.
Yeah, it was something I was speaking to people about after the game against Spain midweek. It was that despite the scoreline, I thought Kenzie and Jess had good games. Jess put in a couple of key blocks, and I think Kenzie's been obviously not playing in the SWPL. We don't maybe see as much as her, but anytime we get to see her for the Under-19s, she's always impressive. Playing short at the back, Finland. That one bounces off London Pollard. You can hear the cries of Polly McDonald below us there, Chris, wanting London Pollard to be pressing. You can see Scotland again just winning it back. Ailey Adams out there. Jodie McCleary offering support. Kirsty McLean, our Rangers teammate. Maya Christie tugged, and it will be a Scotland free kick, but going back to that chance there, and it cannons off London Pollard. That's what she's there to do. Yeah, that's what she's there to do. And do you know what I really like about London when she does it is if she doesn't get it the first time, she'll go for the second one. It's maybe sometimes she maybe does a few too many, but I think in that instance she was absolutely right to do it because she'd broken into the 6-yard box and caused some chaos. Cleary just losing out there. Ikening. Svea Mata dancing through there, falls under the foul of Hannah Jordan. Very good with the ball at her feet in these early stages, Chris. Yeah, you can see she just got a familiar Urquhart there for a wee second. Hannah, maybe a little bit of a cheap foul, given that there was a few defending lines in front of it. But you know, first time Finland have had an opportunity towards a Scotland goal. See how this progresses. Niila Antikainen to take. Over it to is Una Sevenis. Maybe Sevenis. Nope, it will not. Tries for goal, and it's a spectacular goal from Niila Antikainen. Right from the free kick. Catches Lisa Rogers out. Postage stamp finish. And it's 1-0 to Finland. Yeah, I wonder if the misdirection that caught you out, Amy, maybe caught out Lisa as well, because I think I was expecting that ball to go in the mixer and it didn't. And to be fair, it's a fantastic finish from that free kick. It's not one that's kind of gone into the side or into the middle of the net. It's gone right in that corner, kissed the post on the way in. And it's disappointing for Scotland because we've started so well, but yeah, 1-0 for Finland. And well, I was going to say we go again, but I was trying to avoid saying that. But yes, I think Scotland just don't get disheartened by that. We've been in control, we've had the most of the ball, and we've looked good in possession, so I think we just continue with the processes behind that, and hopefully we get the opportunities that gets. A real moment of quality from the 18-year-old. She's just sprung Finland into life a little bit here in a match in the early stages which Scotland were dominating rather. It was great tracking back from Ailey Adams there to prevent the corner, and yeah, Finland have, as I say, it seems to have given them a little boost.
Nice footwork again. Kirsty McLean's clearance just grazes wide there from Noura Jusala. Scotland just need to find a little bit of composure here, Chris.
Yeah, they do. I just said that we just need to trust in what we were doing beforehand. I think there was a little bit of panic there after looking like we get the ball clear. But yeah, just take the sting out of it again. Get back in the possession. Get on the ball with Kirsty McLean and Eva Thompson in the middle and take it from there.
Back to Jasmine Mansouri.
Spoken Wednesday about how many defenders Spain got around London Pollard, and you saw Finland had 2 on top of her. They had to get a third in to get the ball off of her, and you can see that she's developed a reputation as a real threat at this level, and other nations are obviously becoming very aware of it as well in these games.
Sarah Hapla. Charisma in goal for Finland. There was Maya Kuta on Wednesday. Kia Mata once again. Well marshalled by Millie Urquhart. Mata has the ball back under control, however. Gets the beating off Urquhart that time. Gets the ball across. And it's 2-0 to Finland. Tuli Vinica on the end of that. Touch just beforehand perhaps took Lisa Rogers out of the game. A simple finish to put the finish 2-0 up.
Yeah, Millie did well in the first instance, and then as you mentioned, she's got the better of her in the second phase. And I don't know, a ball going across the 6-yard line like that and getting to the back post to be touched in, you maybe look to see a Scottish foot come in. But you're right, there was a couple of nicks and ricochets along the way that maybe made it a little bit more difficult for Lisa to come out, and you know that puts a bit of wariness in the Scottish foot in terms of clearing it. But yeah, just need to take a breath, I think, Scotland at the moment now, because we are more than capable of being in this game and still getting a result at it, because it's 2-0, but it's still very early stages.
Urquhart had a bright start to the game. Can't be affected by that little mishap. Azealia Adams wins that initial header. And then Pollard on the chase of Mansouri. But the Finnish captain has that one under control. Mata. Hannah Jordan. Kirsty McLean, Scotland will be eager to get her on the ball more. Will her teammate Jodie McLeary get onto the end of this? Just a little bit overcooked. Can you hear Polly McDonald again? Chris has the right idea. You're wanting Kirsty McLean to be picking out those balls, having a little bit of space if she can, because she's so good and creative.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you saw with that ball out to Jodie McLeary, it was just one bounce too far, and otherwise Jodie would have got in the end of it. But I think you can see Finland are really looking at Mata as an opportunity to exploit the Scottish defence just now, and I think it's just making sure that we remain on top of that, and as you say, getting Kirsty and Eva on the ball. But Finland now were doing the pressing that we were doing in the early stages, and it's making it a little bit more frantic in terms of clearing out defence.
Another throw for Finland. Inkinen. Ainslie is intercepted by Kirsty McLean. Ailey Adams in there too. Eva Thompson. Nice touch from Hannah Jordan to take it away from Inkinen.
I think it's important Scotland don't let Finland come out of this corner easily just now, just for a bit of a confidence boost, to have a little bit more pressure up at this end of the finished part.
No ceiling. It's causing a little bit of havoc with my notes. Chris, hold the mic. Literally. Thank you very much. As Finland come forward again through Vikina, second goal scorer. London Pollard back to goal, using her strength so well. Hannah Jordan in support, instead opts to use Ailey Adams, but well read by Ainslie of Finland.
Ainslie's made a very impressive start for Finland. She seems to have a really good read of the game, and she's very comfortable on the ball. But that was, again, great with London Pollard. Nearly got Ailey Adams away, and again, like, you can see that we have it in us to create opportunity, so it's just continuing with that.
Haapala. Christie wins that header. McLean keeping the ball. Just trying to pick out the run off London Pollard, but charisma in the finished goal collects.
I think you're hearing Polly McDonald speak to Eva Thompson quite a lot just now. When Kirsty and Eva are running with the ball, they're maybe needing to get a little bit further away from each other to give themselves options. I think you saw that there with Kirsty and Eva being quite close, and Kirsty having to go for that big cross ball.
Even in these early stages, you can see the shape change a little bit as well. Saw that on Wednesday with Ailey Adams dropping slightly deeper at times as Finland come again. Here is Mata getting the beating off Miliarkit. A few bodies down, finish still in control, and it's a simple finish for number 3 for Una Sevenas, goal scorer against Switzerland. Assisted the second goal as well, which ended up being an own goal, but that is 3-0 to the Finns early on still in this match day 2 clash. Again, a really simple finish from a Scottish perspective, Chris.
Yeah, again, it was getting the ball to Mata, and that really set off the move. It looks like actually now Millie Urquhart and Maya Christie are going to be swapping wings and fullback. But I think that's probably the most disappointing one for Scotland of the 3 so far, because that was pretty straightforward for Finland in terms of once that ball was in the box and the late runner came in there to tap it in, and as you say, Sevenas who scored the goal. One of the goals against Switzerland in the opening match, they really had all the time in the world to tap it in from close range.
Haapala taking a little run forward, trying to pick out Sophia Mata, manages to do so. Off against Maya Christie now. Sarah Inkinen. Millie Urquhart wins that header up against Tulia Vikina.
There's a real zip to the Finnish play at the moment. I think the second goal kind of inspired that, and it's continuing. And again, we've kind of switched the fullbacks, and as you mentioned, Ailie's maybe dropped back a little bit to help at midfield just now as well. But yeah, it's a difficult little spell for Scotland at the moment.
First Finnish corner of the game. Low driven, trying to pick out Sevenus. It will come in again from Stark. Now Jodie McCleary weighing up her options. Up the byline. Up the byline? That's a bit tough. Up the touchline in search of Ailey Adams, but Sarah Inkinen has that under control.
Yeah, Scotland had everybody back in the box there. I was having a look to see kind of who's going to run, and I think that's kind of the issue you have there, because when Jodie brought that ball out, you could see she was looking for somebody. She was looking for somebody to make that pass to, and in the end, she's kind of had to go a little bit speculative in putting that ball down the line. A very almost like rugby-esque technique in terms of pushing the play back up to the other end of the park.
Finland again playing it short at the back. London Pollard keeping the pressure up. Pick that one up. Jordan. Adam leaves that for McCleary. Again, asking what are our options. Wants to go deep to Maya Christie. Will reach Mansory. The fullbacks have switched, so two of the midfield, Hannah Jordan and Jodie McCleary, switching sides as well, Chris.
Yeah, I think it's just a case of just trying to see if we can start new battles and getting the better end of them. But it's how high Finland are playing just now as well. It's their front. It's kind of almost like a front three at times, with the way that Mata in particular is tucking in this, on the side that we're on just now as well. But then you've got that kind of central attacking midfielder behind them, so it's almost like a 4-on-4 in the defence and attack. And I think that's what's causing us so many problems when it comes to actually getting the ball out as well.
See flashes early on as well of Millie Urquhart's pace. She has that in abundance. Something that Polly McDonald speaks highly of when she was with the under-17s. As does Emma Hunter up at Aberdeen. Sevenus. Pressurising again from Millie Urquhart. Proves fruitful. London Pollard now just needs to wait for support. McLean, Adams, McCleary all in the box. Thompson can't latch onto it. Now Mata again. It's time to run. Sivanis. Being watched by Maya Christie. Young Aberdeen forward usually does well in her defensive duties.
Yeah, I was just having a wee look at it there. You saw Millie Urquhart on the other side and then Maya Christie there. When we get in front of the battle, we tend to do quite well. We win those duels, but as soon as Finland get our defence turn, that's when we start to have a little bit of problems and maybe lose a little bit of shape. So I think being that front foot, I think we've talked about that a lot with the Scotland's women's team across all the age ranges at the moment, is certainly the way to maybe get our foothold back in this game.
Mata. Cutting inside. Fantastic ball out. In search of Vikina.
I think she was going for a shot there, Amy.
No, she wasn't. That's never a shot.
I think that was a shot, and it's kind of skewed the wrong way. But we've got it clear. Millie Urquhart got it clear, so it's all good.
I'm giving too much credit then, saying it's a fantastic outside of the foot pass. Agree to disagree, Chris. They're conceding a corner there. I think you heard Paula McDonald early on ask for more communication perhaps from Jess Broderick. That seems to be another situation there where maybe Milliarkit didn't need to make that header.
Yeah, you can see the ball was going pretty safe, and she's obviously just defensive instincts. I think that's something that happens a lot with backlines. The first instinct is to make sure the ball's clear, but then that's where communication is so important.
Low corner again from Finland. Now here comes Kenzie Weir. Again, asking what are our options, but there is Kirsty McLean offering support nearby. Neat play between McCleary and McLean. Safely back to Lisa Rogers.
But again, as you mentioned there, Amy, it's Kenzie's looking up, she doesn't see a ball. Ailey Adams is trying to make up the ground from being back and defending the corner, and you know that's one of Ailey Adams' qualities is her defensive work as well. But I think when you're 3-0 down, you're looking for an outlet, you're looking to release that pressure a little bit.
Of a hit and hope there from Jess Broderick. Finland just play keep ball. Ikonen can't get that one under control. Not seen that many times so far this morning.
No, you're right, it literally stood out to me there. That was probably the first time I've seen a finished pass really slip. They've been really, really good in possession, and they've been patient with it as well. So maybe something that Scotland may need to have a look at over these last 2 games.
McLean.
Nice to see a Saltire waving over in the stand. Always fills you up with pride.
Fair few Finnish fans as well.
Yeah, there was a wee chant going on earlier as well. I think you see this quite a lot actually with women's football, is that when a nation, whether it be under-19 senior, they usually get a wee conclave of fans kicking about a ground you wouldn't expect in Scottish football.
A conclave? Not your word of the day?
Yes, it's on my word of the day toilet paper.
Mata. Wicken has the beating, but Lisa Rogers does smother there.
I think the switch of fullbacks has helped a little bit, though. It does feel like the wing threat has been muted somewhat in these last 10-15 minutes. And yeah, you mentioned obviously Maya Christie is in the SWPL forward, and she's playing at left back for the under-19s today, as she was last midweek. But I think she's actually done quite well against Mata since moving over to this side.
Said it on Wednesday, but the point still stands. This is a very young Scottish under-19 side. Real transitional period from the camp that won League B back in April, while, like Spain, Finnish are much more experienced, older side, a lot of 18-year-olds coming to the end of their time at this age level, while Scotland will still have another cycle left in this squad.
Yeah, and again, with the way the age levels work, groups coming together, staying together, you know, in the good times and the bad, is an important part of their development. And again, I think, as we mentioned before numerous times, that the players really take something from these camps in terms of just new experiences and new challenges that maybe the familiarity of the SWPL for a lot of these players maybe don't bring sometimes.
Kenzie Weir. Good work by Maya Christie. Trying to pick out Lyndon Pollard, but marshalled well by Hapla. It's great work from Maya Christie down below with Sophia Matt up against her.
Yeah, and I mean the benefit of having Maya in that position is, you know, she'll maybe have to be a bit more focused in the defensive duels, but she plays quite a lot at the point for Aberdeen, and making those runs is something that you see quite a lot from her. So that was an opportunity there for a run with the ball, and you could see that it poses a threat.
Ailey Adams pressing as Lyndon Pollard, Hannah Jordan. Is 2. In out to Vinica. Buys Millie Urquhart. Wins the corner. Are you feeling a little bit of rain there?
No.
Oh, I hope not. Okay, maybe it's just me. Oh. Like I said, no brawly, it's only weather not prepared for. As Tal Stark heads off to take this corner for Finland. Every single Scotland player bar Ailey Adams inside the box, with Adams inside the D. Up is Sevenis. Lisa Rogers has no outlet. She does use Jodie McCleary, who's questioning again.
I think when we are defending so deep in these set pieces, it is right to try and get the ball moving quickly, but it just takes a wee moment of calm, just to maybe let us set into this position, and then we can look at working the ball out from there. But we've managed to work our way back into possession, and then we'll look for it, work it forward. And there's a nice bulk out of space for Kirsten McLean there.
Roderick trying to pick out McCleary, but Ickanen read it. McLean.
I feel the rain now, Amy.
Feeling the rain?
Aye.
Oh no. Terrible morning so far. Kenzie we are. Chests down. Back under control. Scotland go again. McLean. Urquhart just can't quite keep the ball in play. Scotland were building something quite nicely there.
Yeah, a nice wee phase of possession, and I think just more of those phases you can build up, and then you start linking those together, and that then leads to a bit more dominant play.
Pollard keeping the ball under her control. McLean. Jordan. That'll be out for a goal kick to Finland. Last touch coming off Hannah Jordan. Scotland are just finding a little bit more composure now though, Chris. You look unreal. Wow, Chris has his beanie over his headphones to protect himself from said rain now, and his sunglasses on. It's a look, it's a look.
Sartorial elegance, that's what I'm here for. But yeah, it's again, we've created into the kind of last 10 minutes of the first half. I think it is. I mean, it's kind of evened out a little bit. I think the tweaks that Polly McDonald's has made has certainly helped even out the game and kind of numb the Finnish threat a little bit, but they still look very dangerous on the ball when they start to get it moving and zipping about.
Wet and windy notes now. Ickenin. There's a little bit of space. Read well by Jess Broderick. Back to Lisa Rogers. Sevenas pressure in. Scotland do well and Kenzie Weir comes away. The ball at her feet and wins the free kick. Her dad would be proud.
Like all parents are.
McLean trying to pick out McCleary. Sevenas picks up. London Pollard will latch onto that slack pass back. Takes a heavy touch. Looking for support. Strike on goal, always heading into the side netting. Perhaps a unusual first touch from London Pollard there in the situation presented to her.
Yeah, it was, as you say, first of all, it was a little bit heavy, but I was surprised to see her try and go out wide as opposed to taking it on the inside and having a shot at goal, because she was within the tram lines of that 6-yard box, and that was a real opportunity for us to get a shot on target.
Mata. McLean coming away with it well, trying to pick out Pollard. Thompson will pick up the slack. McCleary and McLean, nice link up. Pollard in on the act, just overcooks that, gets it back under control, and Maya Christie will contest. Loses her Aberdeen teammate and captain this afternoon. Are we in the afternoon yet? No, still morning. Jess Broderick.
It's afternoon somewhere. 10th cap for Jess Broderick today as well, most cap player in the squad.
Second half for the stats, Chris. Reading my notes, see over my shoulder. Gonna start hiding them. Stop nicking them. All my co-commentators, they never do their own notes. Always nick my own. So I just turn up. Stark. Header finds its way to Lyndon Pollard. Just trying to pick out Ailey Adams. Slightly overdone.
I think the ball out was to Jodie McCleary there, and I think it's just maybe just up in the volume in the shouts. I heard that from Jodie where I was, but maybe London and the focus of play maybe didn't quite pick it up.
Or you just got really good hearing.
Unlikely.
Broderick. Here's a call off Jordan. Picks it out well. There will be a Scotland corner. Good opportunity to try and get something from the set piece.
Yeah, and that's the kind of ball we know Jess has got in her locker to pick out a Scotland attacker in the final third, and Hannah's done well to get in the end of it and win the corner.
McLean to take. Nodded away by Sevenus. McLeary shows. Christie tussling away well.
Christie's done a really good job of pushing Matha back. You can see that she's just had to maybe come back down the pitch maybe 10 yards than what she was doing when she was up against Millie Urquhart, just because Maya's got that little bit more in terms of attacking now, whereas, as you say, Millie Urquhart has a bit more pace.
Kirsten McLean wins another foul. Hauled back there by Sevenus. Broderick coming forward. Sevenus. Mansory. And then Pollard forcing her to come out. Ickonen. Misplaced pass, trying to find Sophia Mata. Good tracking back from Jodie McLeary to force the error. Stark intercepts, but McLeary wins a foul again under Sevenus. Broderick clears that a little bit short. Approaching half time, Chris, what do you think Polly McDonald will be saying during the interval?
You know, apart from that 15-minute spell where things went a little awry, I think she'll be fairly happy again. We're looking to try and get an opportunity to goal test the goalkeeper. We've not really done that. A couple of half chances, but nothing that's generated a clear shot. And I think that'll be the disappointing thing so far from these two games, is that we haven't really tested a goalkeeper yet. And well, maybe we'll do it now.
London Pollard latching on to the slack pass by Hapla. McLeary. Jordan, it's all a little bit congested in the middle of the park. Sevenus forces it out of Jordan's control. Mansory does manage to keep it in. And that is half time here at Ainslie Park. Finland lead 3-0. Scotland undoubtedly started the brighter in the opening 10 minutes or so, but Scotland fell under the opening goal of Nila Antikainen before Tuli Vikana and Una Sevenus added the second and third not too long after. Be an interesting team talk at half-time for Pauline MacDonald, no doubt. Her side have composed themselves, tried to create a little bit of composure within the middle of the park without really truly testing charisma in the finished goal, however. Do join us in 15 minutes again, where the second half will get underway at Ainslie Park, and it's Scotland 0, Finland 3.
Tune in to Scotland HQ for exclusive access to the Scotland women's national team ahead of their FIFA Women's World Cup playoff against Austria. Joining me on the programme is comedian Susie McCabe and pioneer of women's football Rose Riley. We'll also be joined by some of the players from the camp in Fiona Bown and Rachel Corsie. Do not miss it.
I'm Paul Ironmonger. This is my middle daughter Tosha, youngest daughter Hania, and we're here from Poland where we live to support the Scottish women's team.
Hi, my name is Hania. I am 9 years old and I'm a big Scotland fan, and football is just a big part of my life.
In 2018, I noticed that the Scottish women's team were playing in Poland, and I checked on the website and it says it's in the city of Kielce where we live, so we decided that let's go along and watch it just out of interest. And it was one of the best games of football I've ever seen, and since then we've all been hooked on it, and since then they took up football after that.
My favourite Scotland player is, well, Nicola Docherty, Erin Cuthbert and Calvin Weir. I like about them is that they're really good and always cheer for them. If I was a Scotland player, I would be like Erin Cuthbert.
So from Poland we had to travel 2 hours to a different city, and we flew to Norway. From Norway we came to Faroe Islands. It was really late by the time we got there, and it was really nice.
I think it's nice that me being a football fan all my life, although mainly watching men's football in the past, to now be able to go to the Faroe Islands, to Paris, to the World Cup, to various places with my daughters to watch Scottish women's football. It's great. In fact, we watch women's football anywhere we can. For kids of this generation, it's the first time their heroes are not male footballers. I mean, if I'm at home watching a match, and they'll say, kids, come and watch a match, and they'll say, is it men's or women's match? And I'll say, it's men's. I'll say, nah, it's okay. But if it's a women's match, then they're right down on the sofa ready to watch it.
We're playing for our place at next year's World Cup.
And we need your support more than ever.
So throw on your Scotland top.
Tickets are on sale now. Come on, Scotland.
Welcome back to Ainslie Park. There it is at half time. Finland 3, Scotland 0. Sides just making their way back out onto the pitch. The rain has stopped, the hood was up, the umbrellas are out, and now the sun is shining. This is just a great day so far.
If I wanted to drop some cliched pattern, I'd say you have all the seasons in one day, but I won't say that. I'll just say the sun's out, which is nice. I'll put my sunglasses back on, the beanie's back off my head. Hopefully it stays like that for the second half.
Can't see any changes to either side just yet. Oh, they're coming on now. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Got a full gantry here helping out. Eliserio is on. Coming on too is Jutta Angeria and Polina Pirinen for Finland.
Half-time substitutions for Finland's number 18, Una Savinius, and number 20, Inga.
Other than score 3, possibly 4 goals, Chris, what does Scotland need to do in the second half?
I think they just need to go back to what they did at the start of the first half. They were pressing high, they were composed on the ball, and they were, you know, creating opportunities. I think the kind of tactical tweaks halfway through the second half really helped as well. It kind of brought us back into the game and even and out, and obviously Finland have just made 3 changes there as well, so we'll see how that impacts on the game, because I think it's removed some of the key threats from that first half as well.
Absolutely, it looks to be a full new front line for the visitors. Sevenis and Mata certainly haven't come out in this second half, and neither has Inka Saraneo, who's kept quiet actually in that first half, which is a credit to Jess Broderick and Kenzie Weir as she was leading the line.
Yeah, she was kept quiet, and it was kind of maybe the peripheral attackers that were causing damage for Scotland in that first half.
Scotland starting the second as they did the first, on the front foot. Pollard picked up by McLean, but Finland do clear their lines. Maya Christie tussles away with substitute Pirinen. Millie Urquhart pressing high, much to the delight of Polly MacDonald. Ansari trying to pick out Angeria, not to be. Pollard, Megs Inkinen. I mean, Meg Chris.
Not Megs Inkinen.
Vinica trying to slip through Pirinen, but Rogers will smother. So Rogers just taking her time for punting high in search of Adams. And a throw in of Inkinen.
It was an interesting shout there from Polly MacDonald about not trying to win the ball too early and actually can almost see possession. I think that's where we've had success when we've had these defensive attacking drills, is jostling as opposed to trying to go in for the killer touch to try and set something away. And I think I think that's maybe what kind of caused the third goal, to be perfectly honest, in terms of too much engagement and maybe not enough just managing in the attacks, maybe the best word for it.
Another interesting call from Pauline McDonald there. Bailey Adams or Lyndon Pollard goes, we all must go. Keen to put this Finnish defence under pressure, as Finland have just done so to Scotland, dispossessing Jodie McCleary, allowing in Vinica. A little bit of pinball, still under the control of Vinica. Falls under the foul of Maya Christie. Pirinen has the ball under control. A little bit of composure regained. The substitute running rings around Kenzie Weir, winning the corner.
But yeah, you could almost see that's exactly what Pauline McDonald's wanting from Scotland, as a wasp swarms around us, the Finnish attack swarms around the Scottish defence, and it's led to that corner.
Tal start, trot over to take corner. Second half substitute against Switzerland earlier on this week. Hapla was the target, but Hannah Jordan clears her lines. Bailey Adams is on the chase. Stark finds Inkinen. Back it to Thompson. And the many Aberdeen players out today. Pollard using her strength well. Marshalled by Stark. Allowing Millie Urquhart to use that pace. Finland come away. Pirinen. And Keenan. Good work by Sierro. Substitutes all linking up. Pirinen, a little shove from McCleary. Maintains her balance. Wins a throw. And to Keenan to take under the sun as we're looking through a brolly with her hoods up.
I mean, your hood's up.
Got a hat on still. Why you took it off? Feeling brave. As Lyndon Pollard powers through. Falls under the foul of Hapala. She's able to continue.
It started much higher for Scotland in the second half, and as Pauline McDonald said, if Ainslie and London can keep the line high, the midfield can keep the line high, and we can keep possession, then that sounds very obvious now I've said it out loud, but that means we'll have a lot of possession in the Finnish half.
Eva Thompson carrying on the good work of Kenzie Weir, but just can't quite pick out Aberdeen teammate Millie Urquhart. Really good commanding work from Kenzie Weir, stepping forward, telling Kirsty McLean just to leave it.
And she did, and we are now trying to keep Finland in this bottom left-hand corner.
Urquhart wins a header. Adams felt a little bit of a shove there. What do you make of that, Chris?
It's just one of those things that happens in football. To be honest with you, I was a little bit distracted because I was thinking about the last time I saw Jodie McCleary with the ponytail. I usually see her with the pigtails when she's playing. And,
you're right.
That has been throwing me a little bit this game, I'm not going to lie.
Likes a French pleat, does Jodie?
Is that the proper name for it?
2 French pleats, aye.
Ah, right, okay.
Fair enough, never seen them up close. Might be Dutch braids, who knows? Quite a hairdresser. You always get that, like on a girls' trip, or like if there's one hairdresser, if one can do French braids or Dutch braids, then they're doing everyone's. So you can't let it be known that you know how to do them. Wonder who it is in the squad.
we will. Do you know what? Maybe we'll try and find out before the next game.
Good investigative journalism. So I've done that 4 years at university for. A little bit short from Kenzie Weir there, and it's just a simple finish for Ellie Sierro. Just a little lack of concentration from Kenzie Weir. You don't see that very often at all. Bit of miscommunication between her and Lisa Rogers. Short pass, allowing in the substitute to put away number 4 easily. You see her teammates surrounding her, consoling her. But it's Finland 4, Scotland 0.
Yeah, there was a little slip in there as well. I think just compounded it up for Kenzie, and you know, it just happens sometimes. I would love to give you like a really detailed analysis of that, but it's one of those moments where the ball's not reached its destination, and this finish attack has been on top of it to capitalise.
Another killer blow for Scotland, as was the case in the first half. Playing good football, enjoying possession. Finish just so clinical in front of goal, picking up on little mistakes. Zaylee Adams there concedes a foul. Can see the deflation across this side. It started the second half well, Chris.
Yeah, there has. It does feel like there's been a little bit of an expel of breath, and yeah, as you can just hear, Pauline McDonald kind of egging the team on to Jess, and Jess trying to pass that message on to the rest of the team. But yeah, it's always hard when you can see the goal like that, because you can look at it and you can look at it and you look at it, but I think everybody involved will know what have happened and how it could have been avoided. So again, as you mentioned, we started the first half very well, I conceded a goal, and then we've done that in the second half as well. So hopefully in this half we kind of don't let that spell get the better of us again.
And Keenan. Sarah Inkinen, fantastic strike. Does take a deflection on its way through. It's a wonderful strike from distance.
Yeah, and you know, you don't actually see a lot of that on the 19 level. A lot of the time it is working the ball into the area and then getting the opportunities from there. So a rare prop from range, and it's taking the deflection to go clear. But again, really important Scotland get this clear. We've packed the box again, so if we do win this first ball, it's important that we get the support out to whoever's done the recovery and is now breaking.
Kyle Stark again to whip it in. Short. Pinanen made the run. Mansere's there. Nigeria clears up. Sailed back in by Inkinen. Pinanen will not latch on to that cross. Rogers going short again to Rogers, to Weir, sorry. Rogers to Rogers. Adams. McLean and McCleary. Neat play. Trying to pick out Hannah Jordan. Well read by Charisma in the finished goal. It's the first real time though Kirsty McLean's managed to slip a ball through, breaking the Finnish defence. It's a fantastic run made by Hannah Jordan.
Yeah, I think the thing that really struck me with that move from Kirsty was when she's been picking up the ball a lot, she's been having to kind of back in herself and turn to then release it, but she was able to run onto the ball and then release that ball for Hannah Jordan. And so maybe just a half step of withdrawal from Hannah when the keeper came out. But yeah, nice to see a little half break there.
Hannah Jordan on our home turf. He's making that move from Rangers in the summer. Pinanen lively since coming on. Finland will make a substitution in the next break of play. Kirsten McLean wins a foul. Will be captain Jasmine Mansory departing for Finland, and coming on is Helmi Perkas. Been impressed by Mansory, Chris?
Mansory's been very good. She's been strong in the tackle, she's been good on the ball, and she's very comfortable in the ball as well. I'm really impressed with Mansory. It's definitely a name I'm going to be keeping a wee eye on going forward, because that was a really, really impressive performance from her.
Finland substitution, number 4 Jasmine Mansory, replaced by number 3 Helmi Perkas.
Player kits right the way through to Charisma. Mansory's defensive partner Sarah Hapla has taken the armband. She strides forward. Antikainen. Anjere. Pirinen on the edge of the box, gets her shot away. Well held by Lisa Rogers, and really that's one of the only really saves Lisa Rogers has had to make. Obviously conceded 4 goals, but other than that, there's not been an awful lot that she has had to do.
No, she hasn't, but I think that again shows how effective that Finland have been in the fight. I've heard Pirinen's been very good since she's come on. It doesn't feel like there's been a drop off with the Finnish attack with the changes that they made at the start of the second half, and that was really nice footwork to create the opportunity, and Lisa's done well to hold on to it and go again.
McLean, Megan Stark. Yeah, Adams uses McCleary. McLean just can't quite find Eva Thompson as Finland come again. Scotland trying to regain their shape, but Sierro is in. Scorer off the 4th, and doesn't manage to find the back of the net with that effort. Just skirts by. Little toe poke. Lisa Rogers came flying out. Perhaps that movement did just put her off a little bit.
Yeah, I think it probably would have been enough to put off the Finnish attacker, and it has slipped by the post. But do you know what? Just before obviously the ball broke down there, it was a good bit of tempo to the Scotland play there. Again, Kirsten McLean being on the front foot and going forward with the ball, then just seems to drive the rest of the team up. So I think if we can kind of get Finland turned a little bit, it gives us opportunities.
Anna Jordan, on the chase there, but well read by Sarah Inkinen, and there will be a double substitution for Scotland. Eva Thompson departing for Rangers' Kayla Jordan.
Wait. Number 8 you can come in. And number 11.
And London Pollard departing for Amelie Burse of Spartans, another on our home turf. It's a substitute on Wednesday against Spain. What do you think these substitutions will bring it to the side, Chris?
Well, I think again London's shown that she can cause a lot of problems to defences, but she is certainly a marked player, I think, now at this level. So Amelie will offer a different challenge that maybe they haven't seen as much of. And then I think it was a pretty quiet game for Eva Thompson, I thought, today. She just didn't really manage to get on the ball too much. And Kayla Jordan, who's been on the fringes of the Rangers team, she's not played very much, but she was very key in the Under-19s team that won the Performance League Cup and League Double last season. So it's another young player getting blooded in. It's good to see that hopefully you would imagine Pauline will probably look to utilise the whole squad in these 3 games, and Kayla's obviously didn't get minutes on Wednesday night, but now gets minutes today.
1 game, 1 goal for Kayla Jordan at this level against Hungary. Only made her Under-17s debut in March earlier this year. The 9-0 victory over Macedonia, which of course Pauline McDonald took charge of, as many of these players played their part in.
I think the other thing with Kayla as well is at the summer we spoke about the players that moved from Rangers to Spartans. Kayla was one of the ones that was kept on, and there's obviously high hopes for her at Rangers that she can be in part of that next batch of breaks through underneath Emma Watts and Kirsten McLeod, and Jodie McLeod, obviously the last two playing today for Scotland.
St Aidan's High School pupil in Wishaw. Who went there, Chris? John Higgins, Joe Jordan, Stephen O'Donnell, and X Factor's Nikki McDonald.
That is
quite the alumni, eh?
That is some good knowledge.
Quite the alumni.
I'm glad you prefaced Nikki McDonald with X Factor's Nikki McDonald, because I would have had no idea otherwise.
He's obviously the key star. Just Joe Jordan and John Higgins, what have they done in their professional sports?
Absolutely nothing.
Sod, of course, running riot around Jack Grealish. Still has nightmares off him, but Nikki McDonald is the one. Should have came third or something like that.
He did quite well.
He done quite well, because you see him around now. He plays a lot of bowling clubs around Maui, which is nowhere near Wishaw.
I basically, we've just said he seemed to do quite well, and then you've referenced the bowling clubs at
He's done quite
Midlothian
well
as a reference point.
Back in whatever year he contested in X Factor, though. This is now about a decade on.
Well, do you know what? See if he's still singing and living the dream, more power to him. So that's good.
He's playing Esmer's Bowling Club quite a lot. If that's not the dream, then I don't know what is. Like I say, John Higgins, Joe Jordan, he's playing Esmer's. Here is the next alumni of St Aidan's. Fizzed the ball across, just no one making that run. First real time Scotland have actually got across the finish. Face a goal.
Yeah, but you kind of want somebody to gamble on that as well. Kayla had obviously got into the space, and again, Emily and Neely, maybe just a little bit behind it.
Antti intercepted by McLean. Seeing a lot of the ball as expected, as hoped by Scotland. Trying to pick out Emily Bush. Hafla.
Just stay there because you're getting too close to the pitch and walking through the dugouts, please. Just stay there.
Finding Kayla Jordan, nice header into the path. Bailey Adams thought about the shot. Asking a bit Kirsten McLean, but she does find it. Emily Bush winning a throw. It will be a free kick to Scotland. Won by Kirsten McLean. She will take said free kick.
Important opportunity for Scotland just to try and make something happen in front of goal. As I say, we had that Hannah Jordan shot right at the start of the first half, but we're looking for a little bit more.
Can't quite get by the first man. And Jess Broderick. Do you find it interesting that Jess Broderick hasn't really been going up for any set pieces, Chris? Centre half, tall.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the usual, the traditional trope is that your fullbacks stay back for that, but I think having Jess back there means if the ball does come out, we've talked before about her delivery from deep, and if the ball does come out, it gives her an opportunity to get the ball back in again, and if it's a break, the fullbacks can back in and recover. But yeah, it's a fair point. She has a physical presence in that Scotland side.
And then keeping the ball in well. The Sierra tracking back from Maya Christie. Be another substitution for Finland. Coming on, Netnina Hiltunen. Will be Tuuli Vinikka to depart.
Substitution number 13.
Christie coming away. Voted by Hannah Jordan and will win a throw in. I've shown off my research, stalking who went to what schools. When was the last time that these two faced each other at this level, Chris Marshall?
It was in 2017, and Scotland won 2-1 that day. Goals from Carla Boyce, who's now at Motherwell, and a little player called Erin Cuthbert, who you may have heard of if you're a Scotland fan.
What she went on to do?
Not much.
Not much.
But yeah, a 2-1 win for Scotland that day. Sam Kerr, who also played on a Thursday night against Austria, was in the starting lineup, and Kirsty Hansen was on the bench, and as she was on Thursday night as well. So 3 of the current squad participated in that game back in 2017. But yeah, 2-1 win back then.
You were at the game on Thursday. Was definitely Thursday, that game, yes. And so too were the Under-19 squad. Spoke about it on Wednesday. The inspiration and aspiration couldn't be greater for this Under-19 bunch. You can see the pathway, it is there. In recent years, we've seen Rebecca McAllister make the move, just involved in the camp earlier on this year. Going to a World Cup, that would be alright, Chris, eh?
That would be, especially in Australia and New Zealand. What a trip that would be. Yeah, when the Under-19, as we were beside each other as we came out to the stand on Thursday night, and as we came out, the Under-19s were right in front of us, and we were like, oh look, there's Under-19s, and then we didn't really know what to do, so we just pretended we hadn't seen anything, carried on.
Ever the professional. Tal Stark. Swings corner in. A little bit of pinball, eventually falls to recent substitute Hiltunen. Will be out for Elisa Rogers' goal kick. Cleary. I had no idea where that was heading, and I couldn't tell if that was coming for us or not. Said Brawley was blocking my view. It was a real intake of breath. I thought I was going to shove you right in front of me, made sure the ball hit you first.
There was me about to say I would have jumped in and punched it away, but
thank you.
Now I know that was going to be the situation. You are on to plums.
A few substitutions will be about to be made by Scotland. A little bit of action below us here. Looks like Amy Anderson and Hannah Robinson will be entering the fray shortly. As Kayla Jordan tries to pick out fellow substitute Emily Burse. Lays it back to Ailey Adams. Nice build-up play. Search off Hannah Jordan, but she just can't latch onto it. And that will be the last piece of action for Ailey Adams. Worked tirelessly today, as she did on Wednesday. Her afternoon is up. Will not add to her impressive goal tally for the Under-19s. And also departing is Hannah Jordan on that far side. Another who has ran herself into the ground. Two impressive shifts from Adams and Jordan Chris.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no fault in the effort of the Scotland team today. They all have run their socks off. I think particularly in the wide areas, I was literally thinking a couple of minutes ago, like Jodie McLeary's actually had a kind of quietly impressive game. It's hard to say in a 4-0 defeat, but I've been really impressed with her working the left hand side. She's now been put up top with Ainslie Park, and that's kind of her more natural position when she plays for Rangers and when she played for the under-19s previously as well. So I'm sure she'll thrive in the opportunity to kind of play up top.
Amy Anderson, the only change from the starting lineup from Wednesday. Getting some minutes this afternoon too. We're definitely in the afternoon now, aren't we? We have to be. We have to be. We have to be. Cruising in the afternoon, half an hour deep, sorted. In and to Keenan. Amy Anderson won't be able to keep that in play. Really impressed with Amy Anderson in the last camp, last qualifying camp, not the two friendlies there. A lot of nice link-up play with Niamh Murphy of Manchester United. Who's obviously not a part of this camp, but talent nonetheless, Amy Anderson, Chris.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about Ainslie Park, I think, in the last game, and how she had to move on to Spartans to kind of get a bit more regular game time. And I think Amy's maybe not had as much game time as she had last season at Hearts, again because of the way that Hearts have boosted their squad in the SWPL. But I think actually that maybe helps development. We talked a lot about Ailey Adams and how she's played so many games already despite her young age, and well, we absolutely want to see young Scottish players getting game time, and if they're good enough, they're young enough, and good enough, they're old enough even, I should say. If they're good enough, they're old enough. But I think Amy maybe getting that opportunity to kind of rest and go again will certainly help in the long run.
She had a good spell a few years ago at Forfar. She went on loan from Celtic. It's been nice to see a really competitive Hearts this season as well. With that summer that they had, it's certainly been a step up in the Hearts from last season. Yeah,
100%. I'd seen them play against Rangers and Glasgow City so far this season. I actually haven't seen them score a goal or win a game, but they were very impressive in both those games. So I think you can see that they are a side that have brought in experienced players. They have a core of youth. We've got players like Jenny Smith, who's obviously another under-19 graduate, who's very key to the way Hearts play, whether that be an attacking mid, or she's been getting to play at wing back a little bit recently as well, which is, don't know if that's my favourite, but especially she's getting replayed at the moment. But yeah, I think it is good to see that Hearts have almost bridged the gap, and obviously there's been a lot of chat about the Capital Cup, as it is now being called, between Hearts and Hibs, and we're obviously playing it.
Can you say that here? Can you say that in these parts of town?
I'm going to say we are.
Oh,
we
you're
are
a brave man.
We are at Ainslie Park. It's home of the Spartans, who are currently splitting the two, if I remember rightly, and obviously Spartans knocked out Hearts in the SWPL Cup last weekend.
One way to make your presence known. Remind said fellow Capitalers that they're here.
Capitalers?
Don't know.
Well, it's not capitalist, that'd be weird.
No, exactly so.
Capitalisers? No, I'm definitely no. Anyway, sorry.
Teams in the capital.
Yes. It'll be a new challenge, actually, going back to Hearts for a second. It will be a new challenge for some of these players, because a lot of them will have kind of been not necessarily thrown into first team football really early, but they will be getting first team games early, and as the league has grown, we've seen the number of imports into the league, for example, grow as well, and that means that the path into the first team is maybe a little bit more difficult, but I think that's not necessarily a bad thing if the quality that is coming in is of a higher level.
Just as we speak about quality of a high level, Finland have number 5. You could hear Paula McDonald below us Scotland were in control from the corner, but substitute Helmi Perkins gets that crucial touch. A nice finish into the bottom corner of Lisa Rogers' goal. It's also Kenzie Weir is down injured, but Chris, another blow for Scotland when again just building something a little bit more impressive.
Yeah, a little bit more forward momentum. It's quite hard to tell from here, but it looked like a little toe poke from the edge of the area, and as anybody who has done a good toe poke in their time will know, it goes straight and true when you do that, and it's gone straight and true into the corner of Lisa Rogers' goal. But Kenzie Weir's kind of down at the moment. Looks like she might have to become off.
Malarkey just made her way over to Paula McDonald to pick out some instructions. Looks like Malarkey may move into a more central defensive role alongside Jess Broderick. Kenzie Weir is unable to continue. And coming on is Niamh Noble of Glasgow City. Scored our first City goal a couple of weeks back against Dundee United. Nice header. A nice header.
Unexpected. But another one of the 17-year-olds in the squad in terms of, we've talked about this transition of age group to age group, and Niamh is another one of those players who was part of the squad that went over to Slovakia and Hungary in August, and also has played in the 17 international as well.
Scotland substitution, number 13 Kenzie Weir, replaced by number 14 Niamh Noble.
Swinging ball in, trying to latch on was Sierro's goal scorer off the fourth. The offside flag is up. Nice bit of confidence there from Malarkey, holding her line well just as she shifted into the centre of defence.
Yeah, and it'll help to have a Jess alongside her, somebody she's got obviously a lot of experience now playing with at club level. That'll really help with her kind of settling into the new role she's got on the pitch.
Anna Robinson trying to keep Nigeria at bay.
Well done, Jodie. Yes, we can see there's no pressure there. It needs to be quicker.
Slack pass. Sierra able to latch on, but Jess Broderick does intercept. McLean. A little bit of a heavy touch for Niamh Noble. Does manage to keep it under control with the help of Amy Anderson. Scotland do win the throw. Middle to Jordan. Robinson. Just for those few substitutions as well, Chris, you're seeing Maya Christie a little bit higher up, which is always good to see.
Yeah, and I'm sure Maya will have well, I don't know, I've never asked Maya, maybe I'll ask Maya next time I see her where her aspirations are going forward in the future. But yeah, the fact that she has been an attacking threat for Aberdeen this season means pushing her a little bit further up the court. He'll give her an opportunity to do something different.
She was extremely impressive against Rangers up at Balmoral Stadium a few weeks back. It's quite the win for Rangers. It was doing co-coms alongside Paula McDonald actually. She spoke so highly of Maya Christie, but her work rate is just second to none, just running tirelessly at a really experienced Rangers defence, of course. No fear, I think is the best way to describe it. Tussling away. That was lovely by Kayla Jordan, but we'll go back for a foul.
Go back, go back, go back.
Maya Christie being ushered to press. Alongside that front line of Emily Burse and Jodie McCleary now. Would have to agree with you, Chris, been quietly impressive from Jodie McCleary in from the off. Obviously a late addition to this squad anyway, but seen plenty of minutes in these 2 games so far.
Yeah, she's. I think whenever you see her kind of playing in the SWPL, you're always struck by she's quite diminutive, but I think she's been good today, and you know she's busy. She's always moving. I think that's the one thing I've always noticed about Jodie is even when the play's not really happening around about her, she's always looking to move and get into a bit of space, and that's something that's really useful when you want to trouble a defence.
And you know that yourself as a prolific goal scorer.
Glasgow South Fives top goal scorer 2002.
Well done, well done.
If that was true, it'd be amazing. I'm more of a Sabito man, I'm afraid.
I see. Jess Broderick caught a little bit off guard there, allowing Finland in. Here is Pirinen. Was very impressive at the start of the second half when she came on. Went a little bit quieter recently.
Yeah, I think we've entered that phase of the game where lots of changes have happened. It's getting a little bit disjointed. You know, the 5 subs thing that has stayed around, to be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it really breaks up games. I think you see it quite a lot, especially when games maybe get a little bit lopsided as it has done here.
Nice work by McCleary. Amy Anderson seems to be struggling a wee bit. As Jordan is on the ball now. Eve Noble makes a fantastic run through. Fresh legs. Just unable to pick out Jordan. And Sierra is away with Finland in support as Pirinen. Millie Urquhart has that peso that we spoke about even this late on in the game. Still has that burst.
Yeah, I think what happened there with Eve is she put the ball on. It was a really nice move with the 3 Rangers players actually just before the ball got to Eve, and I think she did the right thing, but Amy Anderson seemed to just kind of lose track of where the ball had got in the attack, and that's where the Finnish counters come from.
Pirinen on the turn. Corner kick for Finland. Tau Stark, as ever, to take. Aim towards Hapala. Out for another corner. Not seen Tau start to do an awful lot more other than take corners, Chris.
No, but it's you know, somebody has to do it. It's an important part of the game. As we saw on Thursday night for Scotland against Austria, Erin Cuthbert whipping that ball in for Abby Harrison to steer home a header and celebrate like we all celebrated in Ireland.
Seems to be caught in the wind a little bit, that one. Scotland will win the free kick for a wee shove. There's a gust of wind there.
It's kind of came from nowhere.
Like that rain. Anderson. It's really well to come away with that, Amy Anderson. Not fouled in the process. Got a lost boot in there as well. It's all kicking off now. Nigeria. Our Scotland free kick. Lessons learnt from today, Chris. What have you learnt?
What have I learnt? I've learnt that Nicky McDonald went to St Aidan's High, Wishaw. But in terms of the game, yeah, I think what will hearten Paul McDonald a little bit is that, you know, in the first half when we were getting really overrun in the first half at one point, and made some changes and it worked and it kind of broke the game down again. And then we started the second half quite well, had a lot of the ball, and then obviously that goal came and it just kind of killed the game, I think, for everything. But I think if you're looking at Scotland performances, I think when Kirsten McLean's been able to get in the front foot, I was just thinking as she was taking that corner from the bottom left-hand corner, like her heat map must be pretty much everywhere for today's game. And I think the fact that players such as Jodie McLean, who stepped up last minute and come up from the under-17s, has performed really well as well, will be a bonus. And you know, we don't really know the quality of the Swiss side yet in this final game. They're playing Spain later on this evening. Finland obviously defeated them 2-0, so it could be that we're up against another very good side, to be honest.
Fourth official has just signalled that there will be 3 minutes of additional time at Ainslie Park. As Kirsten McLean swings, ball in play, Kayla Jordan latches on. Emily Bush just taking too much time. It's a corner for Scotland.
I'd like to be touching some Kayla Jordan as well since she's come on. She's, again, I think just front foot stuff, and that's what's kind of gone for that opportunity.
And swing by McLean, target for Emily Bush. Broderick up at this corner. She must have heard us.
Well, I think with Hannah Robinson back there, who we know can also do that similar job with distribution, it gives Jessie opportunity to go up.
Kicking out, Kirsten McLean won't make its way through, but a poor touch there from Anta Kanan allows Amy Anderson to pick up, going a little drive. Emily Bush spins, Hapla controls and reads well, and Sierra is able to get things going game for Finland. Inkinen. A little bit slack to Maya Christie. Finland will just comfortably see this out. There's start winning a header. This commentator's curse thing, eh? No ball. In search of Emily Bush. Needs to make the move on her own header. Fouls Hapla in the process.
Be a bit surprised the referee let that one play.
So am I. So am I.
Maybe. Do you know what? A little bit of common sense. 5-0.
I like that.
5-0 with a minute to go.
Some referees would be perhaps petty enough to take it back, make it go again. All about the game, free flowing, Chris.
It's all about the game and how you play it.
Tug there from Niamh Noble. Ball across from Hiltonen. It will be a goal kick for Lisa Rogers as we enter the dying seconds of this encounter, match day 2. The referee's whistle signals the end of play as it finishes 5-0 to Finland. 3-0 at half time through Niila Antikainen, Tuli Vinica and Una Sevenis, and after the interval substitute Ili Sierra and Helmi Perkis notched up number 4 and 5 for Finland. It's 2 defeats and 2 for Scotland following 6-0 defeat hands of Spain on Wednesday. Will be in action again on Tuesday against Switzerland in the final game of this triple header here at Ainslie Park at 7:35. Do hope you can join us. We'll be across all Scotland national team channels. Today's later clash at 7 o'clock here at Ainslie Park is between Spain and Switzerland. Get yourselves along to that if you fancy it. But until then, it's goodbye from Chris.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. We'll see you on Tuesday. Bye bye.